English and logical reasoning. This section accumulates to close to 90 marks in the entire BITSAT section. While most people end up doing well in physics, chemistry and maths because of their experience in JEE Mains and JEE Advanced, people end up screwing the English and logical reasoning section. Because of that, they miss out on not just branches in colleges, they miss out on entire campuses. If you have no experience in English and logical reasoning, or whether you have some amount of experience, this video is going to be a goldmine for you, because we'll be discussing almost all different types of questions that will be coming up in English and logical reasoning and how you can go about acing that in BITSAT examination. If you're new here, my name is Hari. I'm a recent graduate from BITS Pilani, but 340 in BITSAT 2019. Let's get started in the video. The first step is to understand the English and logical reasoning section. Unlike physics, chemistry and maths, you don't need a very deep understanding or expertise about these things. If you understand the basics, if you understand how to go about solving problems, along with what is important for the BITSAT examination, you'll be able to do well and much better than several of the other people. So as far as English is concerned, you need to take care of 5 different things. First of all, you need to understand the grammar. What involves in the entire grammar section? You'll be given a sentence, you'll be asked to spot out what's right about the sentence, what's wrong about the sentence. Is there an incorrect preposition or a noun or an adverb given in the sentence? There'll be probably an underlined word that you need to understand, okay, is this wrong, is this right? Or you need to probably choose one of the options among the different given words. The second one is you need to understand the vocabulary. What do you mean by vocabulary? Given a word, can you understand what are the synonyms of the word? What are the antonyms of the word? And often these things can be a little bit confusing because it's impossible to know all of these things, like what are the different synonyms and antonyms. This is where the practice of questions come from. When you solve close to like 10-15 mock tests, that's when you really get a grip over questions. You get to understand what are the different words, what are the different synonyms, and what is the level of all these questions.
That's why we came up with Crack It
and a mock test series where you can find like-minded people to prepare with for the BITSAT examination, and you get amazing mock tests set by BITSians, which is up to the BITSAT level. And I wrote a lot of BITSAT mock papers when I was preparing for JEE and BITSAT, but we try to make sure that this mock test is actually up to the level of BITSAT. It's not like some paper which is actually like JEE advanced level or something which is sort of really below NCERT level. We made it in such a way that it's actually BITSAT level. So if you're someone who's preparing for BITSAT, then do check out Crack It.
The next type of questions are the comprehension type of questions, where you'll be given a large passage and you'll be given subsequent questions corresponding to that passage. To solve these type of questions, you can either read the entire passage completely, or you can actually go through the questions one by one and try to understand what's the most suitable paragraph and the line in the paragraph to choose from to get these right answers. And it really depends upon you. If your reading speed is quite high, then it's really useful if you can read the entire paragraph. Or you can also go about doing individual questions and picking the right place from the paragraph. The fourth type of question is where you will be given a sentence, a part of a sentence, and you'll be given the remaining part of the sentence in the options. And your job is to complete the remaining sentence given the initial sentence. And of course, these things require a little bit of time and effort, but it's quite straightforward if you have a little bit of knowledge in English, especially if you're from a background, let's say ICSE or CBSE, where you've been exposed to a lot of novels and literature. It's sort of natural to you because once you read the initial line itself, your brain will try to guess what's the actual sentence remaining. The fifth type of questions are called para-jumbles. You'll be given a set of sentences either in a different kind of a combination, and you'll be given the options where what is the right way that if you can arrange these sentences that will make sense for you. And this is kind of confusing because you'll have to try out different permutations and combinations to try to see what actually makes sense for you. And it might take some amount of time. If you're someone who's new to these kind of questions, then I would suggest try to attempt it at the very end because it's not very straightforward. You need to spend a little bit of time to understand what's the right sequence of sentences. And once you read it initially, you will not understand them. So you need to have a working pad on the side and you need to try out different combinations to see what works for you. Once these things are done, then you're probably pretty good enough with English. Then let's move on to the logical reasoning section where you will find close to 20 questions in logical reasoning. The first most important section is pattern recognition. You'll have multiple patterns given to you in different shapes, in different sizes. You need to figure out what's the next pattern going to be coming in the period of 3-4 patterns. In pattern recognition, you'll have 2 different types of patterns. First is the shape-based patterns and figure-based patterns. The second is you'll have patterns based on numericals and alphabetical logic as well, where they combine both numerical and alphabetical logic and then they try to see can you guess the next word that's going to come up, or can you guess the next number that's going to come up? And this amounts to close to like 3-4 questions in the entire paper. And to solve this and to tackle this, you need to follow one simple trick. You need to like label out all the alphabets in one side and numbers on the other side, so that you understand, okay, like what does each alphabet correspond to in numerical order. And by doing this, you get to get more speed over the other people. And try to do this even before the exam starts in the rough sheet, so that you guys don't spend too much time in trying to understand what is the corresponding numerical value of each alphabet. The second type of questions are related to data interpretation, where you have different types of word problems, where you need to understand what is the type of data given. Either it's tabular, or it's sequential, or it's in the form of a graph. And then you need to understand and analyze the different kind of questions corresponding to it. This can be in the form of a comprehension or an individual question. People think these questions are extremely large in size and we just skip it. But generally, these are quite easier in format, because all the data is given. You just need to convert them into something logical so that you can answer the right questions. The third part of questions are the type of logical connections. You'll be given a statement and you'll be asked to find the conclusion of that statement. You'll be say that, okay, A is true because of assertion is right, reasoning is wrong. Assertion is wrong, reasoning is right. Both assertion and reasoning are wrong. Both assertion and reasoning is right. These are the type of common questions that we find in our papers when we wrote. And there'll be other type of questions you can expect as well. The other type of common question that can come are related to water images, mirror images, blood relations, and several other questions that you can expect. And honestly, the logical reasoning section is too wide and vast. And if you start going chapter wise, and if you think that I'm going to solve like, let's say 100 questions for each chapter, then probably you'll have to write BITSAT 3 years down the line. But that's not possible, right? So what is the most efficient way to go about learning all these things in the minimum amount of time, such as like a week or 10 days? What's the best way to go about doing this? If you ask me, the best way to do it is by solving full syllabus English and logical reasoning papers. And by doing these, you get an understanding of what are the various types of questions that can come, where are these questions coming from, including the syllabus, and you'll get to understand the places where you're going wrong while doing test analysis as well. By doing this, you get an understanding of the different types of questions that can come and how you can improve. Let's say that, A, I'm not really good at the logical reasoning section when it comes to blood relations. So what I will do is I will see that, okay, this chapter is weak, and then go and understand what questions I can solve extra in that chapter. By doing this, I get advantages in two sections. One is terms of speed and time management. By doing the full paper, I get to keep an eye on the time, and I get to learn more about the different types of questions. And when I do analysis, it tells me where I stand currently as compared to other people, and how do I proceed forward. But where do you find resources like these? Where do you find the right places for these? This is where we have designed an English and logical reasoning mock test series for you guys. If you're someone who really wants to crack BITSAT, then English and logical reasoning is definitely a non-negotiable. So go about solving the English and logical reasoning paper end to end. It'll be a goldmine for you guys. By solving one mock test every day, you get to get better at two things. One is English and logical reasoning, and the second one is English. And by doing these, you get a much bigger shot at doing well as compared to other people. Remember that the English and logical reasoning section is 90 marks, which means that even if you screw up a little bit in PCNM, if you do well in English and logical reasoning section, it kind of helps boost your overall score, which helps you give an advantage over other millions of people who are writing the same examination as you guys. And don't forget that a good resource for solving NTSC text for English and logical reasoning is your NTSC textbooks. A lot of NTSC is based on English and logical reasoning, where it's a critical section. So try to brush up a little bit on NTSC textbooks, something like the Darwin McGraw Hill or Arihant BITSAT guide, which has logical reasoning section as well, or the Arihant guide for NTSC as well. These are some good textbooks to follow for English and logical reasoning. And don't forget that you will be competing with several lakhs of people. So give your best shot for English and logical reasoning. Not too difficult, easy marks. Go and get the best score possible. See you guys.